So, what if you could slash your car insurance bill just by, being a good driver? That's the big promise of usage based insurance. But is it a game changer for your wallet or is it a privacy trap? Today, we're going to break it all down and see if this new tech is a smart move or a data nightmare. All right, so to really wrap our heads around what's changing, we've got to first look back at how things used to be done. For over a century, car insurance has pretty much been one big guessing game, a roll of the dice based on who the insurance company thinks you are. And this slide just lays it out perfectly, right? On the left, you've got the old school way. Traditional insurance just lumps you into a box based on stuff like your age, where you live, your credit score, really broad statistics to predict how risky you are. But then, on the right, you have usage-based insurance, and it completely flips the script. It doesn't care about the box they put you in, it only cares about what you actually do behind the wheel. So that's UBI in a nutshell. It means your premium is decided by how you really drive, when you drive, where you drive, and your habits. We're talking about a massive shift here, moving away from pricing based on general statistics to pricing based on your specific real-world behavior. Now, this all feels super high-tech, doesn't it? Like it was invented right alongside the smartphone. But, and you might find this kind of surprising, the basic idea has actually been kicking around for a really long time. I mean, check this out. The concept was first floated way back in 1929. The only problem was the technology just wasn't there yet. The real game changer came in 1996, when every new car was required to have something called an OBD2 port. All of a sudden, insurers had a standard way to plug in and get data. By the 2000s, you had pioneers like Progressive launching the first big programs. And now it's as easy as downloading an app to your phone. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this all actually work? How exactly are insurance companies tracking your every move on the road? Well, it basically boils down to three main ways. There's the original method, the OBD2 dongle. It's a little device you just plug into your car. Then you've got the most common way today, which is a simple smartphone app that uses the GPS and sensors already in your phone. And finally, some newer cars have the tech built right in from the factory through systems like OnStar. So it's a four-step process to turn your commute into a number. First, the device or app collects all the raw data, how fast you're going, if you're braking hard, what time of day it is. Then the system analyzes that data and flags what it considers to be risky behavior. Now, the more advanced systems will even add some context. They know that slamming on your brakes in heavy traffic is very different than doing it on an empty highway at 2 a.m. And finally, a complex algorithm crunches all of this and generates your personal score. And look at what actually matters to these algorithms. According to one model, stuff like sudden braking or accelerating has a pretty small impact on your score. But speeding, especially going over 120 kilometers an hour, that makes up a whopping 26% of your final score. That is the one behavior they are really watching. Okay, so they're collecting all this data. What's the upside here? Why would millions and millions of people voluntarily sign up to have their driving monitored like this? I mean, sure, the idea of a fairer system sounds nice, but let's be honest. For most drivers, the real motivation is all about the money. So how much can you actually save? The number is pretty significant. The big insurance companies are suggesting that as these programs get more sophisticated, the safest drivers out there could see their premiums drop by as much as 30%. That's a huge potential saving. The benefits for you, the driver, are pretty clear. You can get lower premiums, which is great, but you also get a sense of control. Your rate is based on your actions, things you can change, not fix stuff you can't. Plus, it just feels fairer, right? It ends that old system where careful, low-mileage drivers are basically paying for the high-risk ones. And the good news kind of ripples outwards. When you give people a reason to drive safer and drive less, we all benefit. We're talking safer roads, less traffic, cleaner air. It can even make insurance more affordable in general, which helps get more insured drivers on the road. But, and you knew there was a but coming, it is not all good news. That same data that unlocks your discount can be a real double-edged sword, especially when things go wrong. And this is where it gets really complicated. If you get in an accident, your own insurance company might use your driving data against you. Legal experts are warning that if your data shows you were even slightly speeding, it could be used to say you were partially at fault and reduce your payout, even if the other driver was clearly the one who caused the crash.
And this gets to the core fear, really. That whole promise of a fairer, more transparent system could completely fall apart if the driver doesn't even know the rules of the game they're playing.
The risks are definitely significant. On top of claim disputes, you have the whole black box problem. You often have no idea how you're being scored. Then there are huge questions about data privacy. And it could create new ways to discriminate against people, maybe penalizing them for things they can't control, like working a night shift or having to drive through a neighborhood the algorithm doesn't like.
This is really the bottom line for regulators and consumer advocates. For UBI to truly work and be fair, it can't be some secret system. Without transparency and trust, the whole model is at risk of failing.
So, what this all comes down to really is a personal choice. It's a very clear trade-off between getting a discount and giving up your data.
You're essentially at a fork in the road. On one side, you've got the reward, a lower premium that you feel like you've actually earned. But on the other side, you've got the risk, handing over a ton of personal data that could be misunderstood or even used against you when you need that insurance the most. And that's the question at the very heart of usage-based insurance. The technology offers a fairer, more logical way to price risk, for sure, but it asks for a whole lot in return. And it leaves all of us wondering, just how much is our data and our privacy really worth?